Your truck says it can tow 15,000 pounds, but that doesn't mean it's the right vehicle for you. And here's what nobody tells you when you're out there shopping. You can hit your limits before you even leave your driveway. Even more surprising, you might not even need a truck at all. Today we're going to show you exactly what to look for in a tow vehicle so you don't end up buying the wrong one. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Most people shop for a tow vehicle based on one number, the towing capacity. But the real limiting factor is payload. That's everything your vehicle carries. You, your passengers, your cargo, and the trailer pressing down on your hitch. Ignore that number and it doesn't matter what you drive, truck or SUV, you're already over your limit. Before you even look at a vehicle, you need to understand your real world load. Not the brochure weight, your actual fully loaded trailer. That includes water, batteries, propane, food and gear, because that dry weight number, it's basically meaningless once you start packing. Here are the three numbers that should actually guide your decision. GVWR is the gross vehicle weight rating. That is the max your vehicle can weigh fully loaded. GCWR is the gross combined weight rating. That is the max combined weight of your vehicle and trailer. And the payload capacity, which is the one most people exceed without realizing it. And remember, your tongue weight is part of that payload. 10 to 15% for most travel trailers and 20 to 25% for most fifth wheels. That adds up fast. Let's clear something up. You don't automatically need a pickup truck to tow safely. There are full-size SUVs that are just as capable for a lot of setups. You've got SUVs with towing capabilities like the Jeep Wagoneer up to 10,000 pounds, the Ford Expedition at around 9,300 pounds, the Dodge Durango with a V8 at up to 8,700 pounds, and let's not forget our own tow vehicle, the Nissan Armada, with up to 8,500 pounds in that same high capacity range. These aren't lightweight crossovers. They're built on truck platforms and designed for towing. Getting back to our Nissan Armada, for our setup, it actually makes more sense to us than a truck. We still get strong towing capability, but we also have enclosed space for gear, dogs, grandkids, and everything else we want to take along. For a lot of families, that is a huge advantage. And if you're interested in hearing a little bit more about our experience with the Nissan Armada, we will be doing a video later where Dan will go into more detail about the specs and the features of our tow vehicle. An SUV might be the better choice for you if you're towing a travel trailer rather than a massive fifth wheel. If you want a secure, weather-protected storage area, if you're traveling with kids or pets, or if you want something comfortable that you can drive every day. For a lot of people, that's the better real-world fit. Now, if you're towing large fifth wheels, heavy toy haulers, or pushing higher payload limits, that's where trucks, especially heavy-duty trucks, still make more sense. This isn't about one being better than the other. It's about choosing the right vehicle for the job. Whether you choose a truck or an SUV, these are the features that actually matter. Start with payload, always. Then you want to look for a high torque engine for pulling power, body on frame construction for durability, the right axle ratio for towing, a tow haul mode to manage shifting and heat, heavy-duty cooling systems, an integrated brake controller, exhaust or grade braking for downhill control, tow mirrors and camera systems for visibility, and a longer wheelbase for stability. These are the things that make towing safer and easier, not just a big number in a brochure. There's one feature that doesn't get talked about enough when it comes to towing: air suspension. And honestly, it's kind of the unsung hero of a well-balanced setup. Air suspension in a tow vehicle is a pneumatically assisted system, often called airbags or helper springs, that replaces or supplements traditional steel springs with pressurized rubber bags to level the vehicle, improve stability, and reduce sag when towing heavy loads. When you hook up a trailer, especially with heavier tongue weight, the rear of your vehicle wants to squat. That affects everything: steering, braking, headlight aim, and overall stability. Air suspension helps bring the vehicle back to level, which is exactly where it's designed to operate. By leveling the load, you're keeping proper weight distribution across all four tires. That means better traction, more predictable handling, and less stress on your suspension components. It also helps reduce things like trailer sway, fishtailing, and body roll, especially when you're dealing with crosswinds or uneven roads. Most systems are adjustable too, so you can stiffen things up when you're towing and soften the ride when you're not. That's a big upgrade in both comfort and control. You'll usually see these in two forms: helper airbags that support your existing suspension, or full air suspension systems that replace it entirely. Both can make a noticeable difference, especially if you tow frequently. But here's the key thing to understand. Air suspension does not increase your payload or your legal weight limits. It just helps your vehicle handle the load more safely and comfortably. So think of it like this: it doesn't let you carry more weight. It just helps you carry your existing load the way your vehicle was designed to. Here's where people run into trouble. You buy a vehicle rated for 2,000 pounds of payload. Then you add a hitch, accessories, passengers, and gear, and suddenly you're down to 1,200 pounds or less. That margin disappears fast. And weight distribution matters just as much as total weight. Too much in the rear equals sway, too much in the front equals overload on your vehicle. Aim for about 60% of weight forward of the axle with 10 to 15% tongue weight, and always keep your trailer level. If you really want to know where you stand, go weigh your setup. Truck stop scales make it quick and affordable, because guessing your weights is how people get into trouble. If you're trying to choose the right tow vehicle, here's the simplest way to do it. Start with your trailer's fully loaded weight. Then estimate your tongue or pin weight, add passengers and cargo, and compare that to your vehicle's payload. If it's close, it's not the right vehicle. Give yourself a margin. A lot of RVers follow the 80% rule for safety. Stay under 80% of your limits whenever possible, because wind, hills, heat, and real-world conditions don't care about those brochure numbers. So don't shop for the biggest towing number. Shop for the setup that handles your real-world load comfortably. For a lot of people, that might be a truck, but for many, a properly equipped SUV is more than enough. The goal is simple: make towing feel easy. The next time you're shopping for a tow vehicle, just remember that towing capacity is just one piece of the puzzle. Payload, stability, and real-world math matter more whether you're driving a truck or an SUV. If you get that right, your trips will be safer, smoother, and a whole lot less stressful. If today's video was helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching today, and we'll see you in the next video.